Hi there, so I'm Damaris and I created a blog and YouTube channel this year called Rainbow Vegans Rock, and I created it to spread the word about sustainability and veganism really. So today I'm just sharing my top tips for sustainable living. So first of all, I would say you have to be very mindful about what you buy. So sort of think less is more overall. So before I buy something, I consider first of all if I really need it, or if there's something else that I already own that would do the job just as well. So that's what I do really. I do a lot of things like put things in the basket for online shopping and then think about it for a few days or a few weeks or months, whatever, however long it takes for me to really decide if I do actually need that thing. The next top tip I would say is if you do decide, yes, you do actually need this item, whatever it is, then look for it secondhand. So all of my belongings I will always look for secondhand. So clothes, shoes, kind of the same category, technology, anything like that. So you can also, with technology items, you can also look for refurbished options. So I'm here in the UK, so if I had to replace a broken phone, for example, I would go on to eBay or Amazon and I'd look for a refurbished phone. And they've got a grade system as well, so it's quite easy to sort of pick C, B, A being the top grade and decide, you know, which phone you'd be happy to have. And my last two mobile phones have been grade B and they've been brilliant. I have no issues with that. So it's kind of secondhand buying it that way, but it's been refurbished usually by the manufacturer or by a company that refurbishes phones. And that's the way that you can make more sustainable life choices, by buying these things which are already in circulation, and you reduce your overall carbon footprint from doing this, because of course most in technology items, for example, most of the carbon produced will be during manufacture because of all the parts, all the little bits of metal, all the plastic, all of that sort of thing. Going back to clothes, so this year I have only bought secondhand clothes for myself and my children, and surprisingly it is actually fairly easy to do that. As soon as they need a new item of clothing, shoes for school, you know, anything like that, check on your Facebook marketplaces, check on eBay, Amazon, and see if anybody is selling secondhand that piece of clothing that you need or your family needs. And I haven't had any problems with that this year. I don't know if I'm just lucky, but there's always been somebody selling just what I need. And most of the time, of course, it means that you save some money from buying it secondhand as well. So that's just a big bonus. Okay, next tip is make things yourself. So I find this one quite difficult, just mostly because of time and everything. But you know, the most amount that you can make yourself, whether that's food, recipes, you know, make things yourself, it gives you a true appreciation for the food and for the item, whatever it is that you're making yourself. I'm not very handy when it comes to textiles and things like that, so I haven't really been able to make my own clothes or scarves or anything like that. But if you have that talent, that's obviously another thing that you can fully take advantage of and make your own things, definitely. The next tip I have today is switch to a green energy supplier. So I don't know where you are in the world, but in the UK we are spoilt for choice on green energy suppliers. I did a list on my blog a few months ago and we have quite a few options. I want to say maybe about 8 different options that you can go for in the UK, and they're ranging from sort of the most affordable to the most expensive. The one that I went with is probably one of the cheaper ones and I have no complaints. So they use 100% renewable electricity, so electricity from wind turbines and solar, which is amazing, and they offset the carbon from the gas that's used as well. So they basically take that amount in funds and they fund environmental schemes to offset the carbon from gas. So that's just a little one, and definitely worth looking into if you're not already with a green energy supplier, just to have that peace of mind that you're doing everything you can, you know, does really make a difference. So another tip that I have is to switch to plastic free for as much as you possibly can. So you can use shampoo bars, for example, that cuts out a lot of plastic, and you can use cleaning products which come without plastic as well. So in the UK we have like concentrated cleaning drops, they are, and you basically reuse the bottle that you have, the spray bottle you have, and use the cleaning product, so you eliminate plastic that way. And I think for a lot of people that would be a huge saving, because usually under the sink you've got stacks and stacks of, you know, cleaning bottles, and that not only it saves on storage but it also saves on all that plastic as well. So that is definitely a fab option. So my last tip really is to avoid flying. Flying actually is so bad for the environment. I personally don't fly, and if I need to go somewhere, if there's another route that I can take, drive, you know, boat, then I will always choose that option rather than flying, because that is quite a major one really. I understand if people have to travel for work or they have to travel to see family, then that's not a lot you can do about that. You still need to see them, and that's completely understandable. But if you can avoid it, try to avoid flying, definitely. So to just summarise my top tips, first of all, make sure that you definitely need the item. So buy less overall and really just be considerate of whether you actually do need something before you buy it. If you do decide you need it, then always secondhand first. Try to buy secondhand, refurbished as much as you can. Don't buy no new clothes unless it's underwear or socks, you know, that sort of thing. I can understand buying those new, we do in the family. So yes, secondhand, absolutely always, and just try to reuse what you have. That is usually the most environmentally friendly thing, is to use what you have always. And if you can make it yourself, absolute bonus, definitely. Try to switch your energy to a green energy supplier if that's an option for you wherever you are. And lastly, to avoid flying if at all possible. So that's my main tips today. Just thought I would share them. And remember, I always say every sustainable and ethical choice you make does matter. So don't believe it doesn't, it really does matter. Okay, thank you for listening today.